Welcome to the Universal Broadcasting Network's Hit Afternoon Show, bringing you the latest in music news, artist interviews, and more, with your hosts, Lauren Dair and Sean Lusk. This is the Music Project.
Everybody, my name is Lauren Dair. Hope you all are doing fantastic. It's another great Sunday here in Los Angeles, and we're getting so close to Christmas. I can hardly stand it. I love wintertime. As some of you may know, I'm originally from Alaska, so winter is my season. So when it gets cold and chilly and I can wear sweaters and there's no school and you can just stay home and watch movies, it is my favorite time of year. So now that Thanksgiving's over, I'm full Christmas mode. Full Christmas mode. I am so excited, and I know it's still about a little less than a month away, but I'm ready for it. I have my little tree up already. I'm ready to go. So, as you guys know, you can follow us on Twitter at Music Project UBN. You can also like us on Facebook, The Music Project, on Instagram at The Music Project. And that's the best place to find out who our upcoming guests are. You can submit your questions, ask people what you want to know. We've had some very interesting questions over the last couple of weeks, and it's because of you guys and your creativity on what you guys want to ask these bands. So thank you. Keep the questions coming. It is always awesome hearing what you guys want to know. So today's show is very interesting. So a lot of times I have a band in studio or a band on a phone call, and they tell us the story about how they got started, how they got into their band. And, most of the guys went to school together, or they met through extracurricular activities, and they're all from the U.S. They're all from the same little small town, and then they go and they branch out, move somewhere else. Today's guest is very different. So I'm going to just go ahead and introduce you. So we have Louis, and help me pronounce your last name.
Luis Kalil.
Luis
Kalil.
Kalil.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I can't. I have not a tongue for languages, so it always sounds super white when I say it. But you recently just moved to the U.S.
Exactly, 8 months ago.
8 months ago.
Yes.
So your story is so fascinating, and I want to give you an intro, but at the same time, I also want to hear your perspective of it.
Okay.
So you moved to the U.S. 8 months ago at 17 by yourself to pursue music because A, you're in love with it, but also you are a fantastic guitarist.
Oh, thanks.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So let's just go ahead and get started and talk a little bit about how you got started into music. How you first picked up a guitar and why the guitar? Why was that what you were drawn to?
There is one word that explains all my the start of my career. That is slash. When I first saw Guns N' Roses playing that DVD, the Tokyo one in Japan, and my brother bought the pirate one, and he had a friend in school that I have an older brother and a younger, but the older introduced me music. Yeah. And he had a friend that showed him rock stuff. And then he started watching the DVDs and stuff. And I was watching with him the Guns N' Roses DVD, and he's a superhero slash.
Yeah.
I wanna do that. I wanna be him. And
Such
then I started playing. He started playing. I started playing, and then I found out heavy metal like Iron Maiden. I'm fanatic for Iron Maiden. And then Metallica, and then the guitar players like Eddie Van Halen, Yngwie Malmsteen, and then I got started like that.
Wow. And so that was the music that just got you. What was it about metal music that you really liked? Was it the guitar work itself, or was it everything?
Actually, rock and roll and metal, I like the energy. It's everyone on the top, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the guitar player, the drummer, the singer, they're all on the same level, and then you have the dynamic, because the thing of heavy metal for me is not just being heavy. It's the melody plus the heaviness, if that word exists.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. And I think that's the greatest thing of rock and roll and metal. Iron Maiden, Guns N' Roses, they have the melody, but they're still heavy. They still have their energy.
Yeah. And so was your older brother a musician? Did he play anything?
Actually, he's studying. He's gonna be a doctor soon. And then that was the point that I started getting better than him because he had to study to the college, and I
Right.
was just in a, like, I don't know how you guys call that, but I was really early in the school because I was really young, like 10
Yeah.
years old
Wow.
when he moved to college, and then I started getting better than him.
Wow. So did he play though?
Yeah,
Okay.
he played guitar.
And so he was the one that kind of introduced you and said, "Hey, you should learn to play guitar. These are the bands that are really awesome," and kind
Exactly.
of got you into
Yeah,
music.
in the very beginning, we used to share the same guitar. Yeah.
And then you're like, I need my own now.
Yeah,
like I need to like
exactly.
have my own special guitar that's
Yeah.
not yours.
Yeah.
That's
sure.
so funny. It's always interesting hearing like how people who start playing music where they wind up, because like if you're, I don't look at you and think, oh, you're gonna be a doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like seeing how siblings kind of go on two totally different paths, and
Yeah.
like they're great in their own way, but so different at the same time.
Yeah.
So listening to metal music, and when did you decide to take guitar seriously? I mean, you played it, you played when you were young,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming it started as a hobby, like something you just like
Yeah,
doing.
sure. I came from a family that my mom's a doctor and my dad he has a store, a manager. He's a manager. I assume it's the right
Yeah.
word for that here in the U.S. But yeah, so music was not like, they didn't imagine, like, never that their son was going to be a guitar player and move to the U.S. and
Wow.
have long hair, So that was really new for them, but things started to happen really naturally. You know what I mean? So then I started getting better and better, and then I started, just recording some videos for YouTube, and I thought, I
Right.
just play my guitar, I'm nothing special. And then when I was like 12, a lot of people started to see my videos, dude, you're amazing. And then I realized that not a lot of people could do that. And then I started, getting still, practicing much more. And then I started playing my own music, create stuff. Then I released my first album. Then a lot of things happened, like professional-wise, like endorsements and traveling to NAM, for example. And then my parents were always there with me, seeing that happening. And so that was, going on very naturally.
Yeah, and I think having that slow progression, because I'm sure like when your brother picked up his guitar, he like didn't think, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a musician. I'm sure when you picked up the guitar, you weren't like, oh, I'm gonna be a huge musician someday.
Exactly.
It just kind of slowly but surely made its way there.
Yeah, and I think that's better to don't have this kind of perspective when you just started to, I want to be a musician. Just, just play, just practice.
Yeah.
First have fun, learn how to play, and then if you have experience like live shows and you really decide to, that's what you were born to do, just keep doing, but don't start with, I want to be this, because you can get frustrated.
Right. Were you ever the kid, like I know a lot of times when someone learns a new instrument, they don't like practicing. They hate practicing. They hate doing scales. They hate warming up or doing whatever. Was that ever you? Did you ever just not like warming up or practicing?
No, actually, I love playing guitar because I love playing guitar. So
Yeah.
whenever I'm playing guitar, that's good for me. And still nowadays, I go to MI and I practice all day long. And I always liked it to practice, and
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can get better without practicing.
Oh, it's so true. Well, I'm a
Yeah.
music teacher, and so
Yeah.
I mean, I work with kids and I teach them, and you can tell the kids that go home and they sit and they practice and they work and they work and they work to get it right, and the kids who like don't practice at all.
Yeah.
And you have to practice to get better. But I always remember like me being a kid at 5, learning to play piano, and being like, I don't want to practice this song. Like I want to play something else.
Yeah.
But it's part of the journey. It's like what you have to do in order to get
Exactly.
better.
Yeah, I always say that, and I used to have some students back home, and I always say, dude, first of all, learn the music you love. So you have to get excited when you play. That
Right.
way you don't realize when you're practicing 5 hours, 6 hours, and you just there enjoying and having fun. So it's not like a job or a thing that you have to do. You just like it.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, that was me because I started with classical piano and it's like, I don't want to play classical. Like, that's not what I'm interested
Yeah.
in. I want to be playing whatever music I'm listening to.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such an important thing. And like for you, learning metal guitar and learning, Metallica and Iron Maiden and bands like that you were really passionate about probably made it a lot more fun for you than someone saying, hey, you're going to play classical guitar or you're going to play Mozart or, you're going to do whatever, whatever classical piece we want you to learn. Like, and I think guitar is also different from piano in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's more contemporary, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
Where you just made it fun. You made it something you wanted to do every day.
Yeah.
So playing back home, obviously getting better and better and better. What was the turning point for you? What was the point where you said, I'm going to be a musician. I am not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to be anything else. Like, I really want to be a musician.
Yeah. I think when I recorded a video, I started doing videos like top 10 solos of like Angra, then Dream Theater.
Yeah.
And then
so doing like cover videos online?
Yeah, I used to when I was like 12 and 13. Wow. And then I got sponsored by ESP Guitars from here, from the US.
Wow.
I came from a very small town, almost in Uruguay. Almost not even in Brazil, so it's very small town. So
like they saw your videos and said, we want to work with him.
Exactly. And then that made me, think, okay, this is going far, I'm not just playing in my bedroom anymore.
Right.
So I started, as I said, creating music, and then I had live experience playing shows, playing my music, and then I was sure, no, I have to do this. It's like my mission. It's more than having a career. It's more than just working and having money. But it's my mission to do that,
Any way that you can, like however you can do it. And it's hard because music is always talked about as like not having a lot of money. Like you don't make a lot of money doing music, but you have to be passionate about it. And you have to do whatever you can to be able to play and like expose your art.
Yeah, and the music industry today is very different. And it's sad sometimes when I see a genius musician, I cannot say, oh, he's going far, because nowadays musicians have to be good, like write good songs, and also they have to manage their own careers for at least in the very start.
Right.
You have to, be the manager of your social media stuff, do all your videos and stuff, edit stuff, and you have to do a lot of work. And I work hard for that, because I don't have anyone with me every day helping me. All the ideas and the strategy I have, it's from here.
Right.
So yeah, so that's you have to be like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't have that business side to it as well. Like I study that in college. I'm a music business major, so I know all about the business side. But there's so many musicians who just like to play and they don't know how to manage themselves. They don't know how to put themselves. And so the fact that you are so young and were able to kind of figure it out at a young age puts you way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Because like you have so far to go, but you've already gone so far and you already are ahead of everybody else who's your age, which is like so invaluable. Like that people just don't have that experience.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that for really kind of,
Thank you very much.
getting it together and being able to do it.
Yeah.
So you're playing back home and then you're like, hey, I'm gonna move to LA. Like how did you decide? Okay, I need to move on. I need to go live in Los Angeles.
So as I said, I came here for NAMM and for a place called EMG TV from EMG Pickups down in Santa Rosa. I came here like 3 times before moving, and the first time I came here was 2015 for NAMM, as I said, with my mom. And I played for ESP and stuff, and I got to know LA and tour the city, and I just fell in love with it. And I during all the high school time, I was every day saying to my mom, I have to do this. I have to move there. That's a place I need to be in the right time, doing the right stuff.
Right.
And I love my parents so much, and every day I thank them for accepting that and letting me move to here.
Right.
So yeah, I came here a couple of times before, and I just love the city.
And I'm sure they're unbelievably proud of you.
Yeah, I hope so. They're gonna be watching this, and they're not gonna understand a word that I'm saying, but they're gonna be crying, oh my kid, and so I'm sure about that.
Well, then you just gotta tell them what you said. Like you just gotta interpret for them and let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, let's go ahead and play one of your songs.
Yeah, sure.
So let me see. The first one that I have queued up here is Ghost in Silence. So tell me just a little bit about this song.
Yeah, Ghost in Silence is a song from my new EP that just came out Wednesday. Boulevard EP is called. And this song, I have Shawn Nichols from Westfield Massacre from LA here.
Yeah.
And he sings the song. And Dirk Verberian, he drums on this song too. So it's a song that I really like because it's like modern, heavy, but still melodic. And yeah, there's a lot of guitar stuff in there.
Which makes you super happy.
Yeah. So I like this song. You can play it, and I hope you guys like it.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Ghost in Silence.
Yeah.
killer. Like, we were talking about this on break, and the fact that you are so young and can play like that is incredible. Like, I don't want to throw the term prodigy around, but like, you're so good.
Thank you.
You are, like,
Appreciate that.
technically. So let's chat a little bit, because again, not the normal guests that we have on the show. You know, normally we have bands or we have solo singer-songwriters or, you know, but it's a little bit different because you play guitar and you bring in musicians to come play with you on your songs.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your music and how these songs kind of get from point A to point Z. Do you start by writing the guitar part and then kind of building everything around that?
Actually, you know, in all my records, I write the songs, the structures, and then when I'm writing the riffs, I write the melodies and write the rhythm parts, and then I already have in mind what I want for the drum sound, what arrangement I like for the bass, and then when it has like vocals, I start the riff and start writing the song, and I kind of realize that this would sound better, you know, with vocals than instrumental, because I have instrumental and vocal songs as well. And yeah, so basically I start writing it and I do the whole thing, and then I present to the guys, and here is what I have, and then not help me, but you know, do your stuff now, you know. Because I play drums too, to have an idea how it works, but I'm not a drummer. And when the guitar is here, the drum has to be here. Not technical wise, but you know, like sound mature as the guitar. Yeah.
It has to compete, but it can't really, like, it needs to be at an even level where they like mesh well together.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you write everything. You write guitars, the drum part, the vocals, the lyrics, everything like that.
Yeah. You know, I cannot say like I write all this stuff, but I put to the other musicians to have an idea of what I want.
Right, so you're able to say, hey, this is how I envision the drum sounding, or this is kind of what I feel like vocal-wise where it should go.
And when I had like a vocal, like singers coming to the songs, I like to work with them in the melodies. Same stuff in the drums, you know.
Do you write the lyrics as well?
Yeah, on the last song I wrote the lyrics, and all the other songs I wrote too. But on this one I had the guy in the studio, and we work on the lyrics because I'm not American. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's cool to have him, Sean. You know, he's American, so he can help me a lot on. This is not sound as clear as it should be.
And it comes down to this is the message I want to get out. How do we put this into the right words?
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it. And so when it comes to having session musicians, or you know, people who are going to feature on your songs, do you sit back and think, who do I want to be on the song, or who can help me, or how do you decide who's going to play on your songs with you?
There's a lot of things, you know, that can change it, but usually it's the contacts I have. Because I want Ingve Malmsteen to play a solo with me. Okay, but how can I get it? It's impossible. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this time, Dirk, we had a friend in common, and he's one of the greatest metal drummer. You know, so I was like, dude, this guy's gonna kill it. Let's if I can talk to him, if I can have his email, let's do it. Let's talk and let's see. And usually it's like the names I have on the table, and yeah, like that.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So when it comes to playing shows, have you played shows under your name as your solo artist, and then you have musicians who come and play with you?
Exactly. I used to do that. I did a couple events by myself in Brazil, in theaters and stuff, promoting my records. And I had a band, you know, like I hired the guys to play the songs, and usually the guys that play the record. And now I have a project that it's still my name, but we're gonna play like just drums and guitars, and all the tracks are going straight on the PA, so just two guys.
Yeah.
Me and Eduardo Baldo, he's a drummer, incredible. He's living here. He's from Brazil too, but he's here right now, and we're studying that. And next year we're gonna play some shows, maybe a tour to promote it.
That's awesome.
And yeah.
But under your name, so it's
Luis Kalil. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that sometimes that works better. I've been in bands and I love being in bands. I always describe it as like the best worst thing I've ever done because it's so fun, but you're also married to 5 people. And especially when you are a solo artist who is writing the music and kind of doing everything and it's really more focused on you. I think it's sometimes better to either have a smaller group of people or to have a backing band that's just kind of there.
You know, that was the only choice I had, back home because, as I said, I'm from a very small city and it's difficult to get like 4 guys from that. I used to have a band that we played power metal. We were all like 13 and 14 years old, so it's difficult to make everyone see what they usually people cannot see.
Right.
And then I just okay, I'm gonna do that by myself and I'm gonna get there. That's the things I have to do. And the only thing I can do for me right now is work on my name, on my project. And of course I'd like to have a band, but if I have to start something and invest in something, I would invest in something that is already going on, is already happening. That is my stuff. But starting a band from zero right now, it's not my plan. But if I had an audition with a band, with a metal band or something like that, I would love to, play in a band. Yeah,
for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about the difference between here and Brazil. I mean, how is the music scene different? I mean, you mentioned that there's, not as many players, I guess, so that you can just like say, oh, let's start a band.
Yeah.
Are there any other major differences between the music scene in LA and the music scene in Brazil?
Actually, Brazilian musicians are like just great. They are great. They are very, you have Kiko and Megadeth, and there's a guy in Brazil that drums for Sepultura, Eloy Casagrande. He's like one of the best drummers in the world. And there's a lot of people from Brazil. They're great. But what I see is that the music scene in Brazil it's not as professional as here, because here are the people that make everything happen.
Yeah.
And not just in music, everything, movies and art and in general, everything comes from here. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the main difference. Here I can have Dirk playing, and I'm sure if I was in Brazil, even in São Paulo, I wouldn't be able to do that because everyone lives here. So that's the main difference. And you have places to play. It's more like you have a real life, not just Facebook and internet, because in Brazil the economy is going bad and everything goes bad, and even music that it's not like food or you know what I mean. So the first things that people invest their money with, and and when economy is going bad, music is going bad, of course.
Right. And it's such a shame because there's so many talented musicians and so many talented people who can play, but kind of what we were talking about earlier, it's like having the business sense and being able to like learn to break out of there, where like in Los Angeles you're kind of surrounded by it. Like you pick it up, I think, a little bit quicker because there's so many contacts and there's so many people you can meet and so many places you can go play shows.
Exactly.
And it's not as limited.
Yeah. And yeah, that's sad because we have a lot of great people, and sometimes it's not just, I want to go to LA, but you have the visa stuff that is so complicated.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass, but yeah.
So for you moving out here, you're 17, you're young. What has been your experience living in LA by yourself?
It's crazy, because I always wanted to come here, but it's a challenge. Every day you have to go out there and go get it. We are just, me and Julia, my friend, we were just talking about it. Sometimes I miss, being just relaxed, because everything in Hollywood's like overwhelming.
Go.
Yeah, go. Exactly. And sometimes you just miss, being Sunday morning like today and, just relax. And yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I love it. I love it. It's been great. I played, as we were talking at the break, the jam nights at the Whiskey. I played with, Marco Miniman. I met Steven Adler there.
Yeah.
So a lot of my heroes, So
like you're living the dream.
Exactly.
But you're also still a kid. Like technically, you still. There's so many 17-year-olds that you look at who aren't doing nearly as much, and they are the ones that are sitting home and like relaxing on their Sunday.
Exactly.
But you have to like compare because the events that people that you're meeting are, you know, people that you've looked up to since you're a kid and that people would be dreaming of meeting, you know, or even being acknowledged by. So it's, you know, it is very bittersweet because you're like, oh, I just want to relax. But at the same time, there's so much adrenaline that comes with it and so much cool stuff.
I know, I surely know that now it's not the time to relax all the time. As I said, every day I feel that I have to go out there and go get it, go show people what I came for.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for. You know, I'm not here to have a good time. I'm here to work to you know, get where I want to be.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's go ahead and take a listen to another song. The next one that I have here is Boulevard. So this is the name, the title track off your EP.
Yeah, just 1 week ago, don't remember exactly. I released that on YouTube. The music video, we shot that on Hollywood Boulevard. He shot that. And on Sunset in Hollywood, like late night, no one there, just us. Yeah, playing guitar, shredding all the way.
The picture that I have, the promo picture, is that from the same day?
Yeah, same day.
That's so crazy. There's only one car on the street.
Exactly. Just the homeless and us. Yeah.
I've done a shoot there, and like it's hard. It's hard to get it that dead.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a listen to Boulevard. So this is the title track off your EP that was just released like Wednesday.
Yeah,
couple days ago.
Yeah,
not too long ago. All right, let's take a listen. And we are back. So you just recently played a show with Stone Sour. How
kinda,
was
yeah.
that?
So yeah, as I said, I go to MI,
Okay.
and they were promoting a contest
Mhm.
that give people the chance to play with them, and the best
Wow.
students were selected to play. And then I sent a video playing Rose Red Violet Blue, their new single from the new album, and I won. Me and my friend Eduardo, we played together, and we played together with Stone Sour. Only 2 people played, and yeah, it was great because I've been listening to Slipknot since I am a kid. I remember going to school listening to them, and Corey is one of my heroes, and I like Stone Sour, of course, but yeah, it was really special when I saw like me and Corey like rocking out and playing the riffs, in front of each other and looking to me and stuff, and I thought just do that. That's crazy.
You're like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
So did they come to MI and play?
Yeah, they did like a short show, concert kind of thing, and yeah, it was really cool.
So what are you majoring in at MI? Are you working on guitar? Is that
yeah,
what you're studying?
Yeah,
Okay. So
that's the easiest way to come to the U.S. as well, and I like
For
the
school.
Yeah,
and you like school. That's good.
Yeah.
And going to a school like MI where there's so many connections and like so many opportunities. I mean, that's the thing is like I know that they have boards there where everyone goes whenever they're looking for a band member or they're looking for somebody to play.
Exactly.
They go and they search at MI because there's just so many talented musicians there.
Yeah, and MI, they know everyone in the music business. I was just, hanging out with Rob Halford a couple weeks ago because again I won a contest and I went backstage for like 30 minutes with him, just chatting with him like he was my friend. And I gave my CD to him, and he said, "Oh, dude, I really listening to everything that my fans give to me." And cool.
That's
I hope you like it,
awesome.
man.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And like also, again, we talk about your whole journey, from where you started to where you are now. And again, you've 10 years ago probably thought, or not even 10 years ago, but 5 years ago
5
thought
years.
like, oh yeah, that there's no possible way that would ever happen, or I'd be hanging out with these people
Sure.
or playing with these musicians that I idolize.
Yeah, but the weird thing is that when you do, you really do the things, you don't get as excited as you thought you would be, 5 years ago, because I think things just happen when they're supposed to happen.
Yes.
So you're more prepared to that, It's not like as a surprise
Right.
going out of this door and Slash is gonna come to me. No, that just doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Has there been anyone that you've met so far that you've been starstruck or like so excited to meet that you just can't even contain it?
I think, back in 2014, we have a show in Brazil called Expo Music. And first time I met Kiko in person and people introducing me me as like, oh, he's a guitar prodigy. He plays your songs. You should meet him. And that was, I think, the first time I really, I was shaking, like, because, he was angry. He's been before Megadeth. Was one of my favorite bands, and that was like I couldn't control it. You know?
Yeah, and you're just like, oh my goodness, this person knows who I am.
Yeah.
Like I, used to listen to your music in my bedroom, and now I'm
Exactly.
talking to you, and
Exactly.
it goes back to the whole never in a million years did I think this
Yeah.
would happen.
And I think then, a couple weeks ago, I met Bruce Dickinson. As I said, Iron Maiden is my all-time favorite band. And yeah, I think John Petrucci and a lot of people I met, I was just, shaking and, dude, that's crazy. Yeah.
Now I'm just curious because we
Yeah.
talk a lot about metal music.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any guilty pleasure music? Do you have any music that is not metal that you love listening to? Like, do you have a secret pop artist or anyone that you listen to that people wouldn't expect you to?
Actually, I'm not ashamed or anything for what I listen, but that's something that I have conversations about with my friends, and I just don't listen nothing that is not rock and roll and metal. Not because I don't like, and I still don't. It doesn't get me. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
just curious because I always love when people are in a very niche genre.
Yeah.
When they like a very certain thing, I always ask metal bands that because I'm like, are there any pop artists? Are you into R&B? Like I had a band that came in. He's like, I listen to the Titanic soundtrack at least once a week. Like, just like fun music that people wouldn't really expect you to listen to.
No, just sometimes for fun we listen to pop music from the 2000 from Brazil. And like, of course, you guys don't know the songs, but we listen to that, and it's funny because you put like 10 metalheads together, and I'm sure everyone is going to sing, every single word from the song, with the pop songs that play on the TV and stuff. So yeah, but I don't. When it comes to playing, I can play some stuff in jazz and funk and stuff as I go to MI. We have to study that, but it's. To be honest, not the type of music that I put on my cell phone on Spotify.
Right, like when you're listening to music, you're listening to what you're like super into.
To have a good time, just to have a good time and relax.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm just curious because I always think that's funny because there's always that one thing that people wouldn't expect you. Like, I probably wouldn't expect you to listen to jazz, but then being part of school and being part of stuff that you have to learn, it makes sense at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so we got one more song here from you, which is If.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this one.
This song I wrote for my second album, Sunset Daredevil, and I just wondered why we always wonder, like, what if I do something, and if I do this, what is going to happen next?
Right.
And if I do this, is there anyone out there that knows that I'm not doing the other choice I have? Right. So yeah, this kind of thing that I would like to just wonder, and I decided to write a song about it. And yeah, the guy that is singing, his name is Jonatas Pozo, and he's a great singer from Brazil, and I'm very, very, very proud of this work. Yeah. This is my first music video ever.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's take a listen to If.
Yeah.
Can take you to a barrow life, and the barrow life is waiting on its choice to change its course. If someone is standing and watching right before it's done, there's always a chance to change it. The future is never defined. There's always a question asking. Just think
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday to come hang out with me, chat about music, and learn a little about you. Your story is incredible.
Thank you.
I hope nothing but wonderful things for you in the future. And let's just get your social media where people can find you and learn more about your music and
Sure.
check it out.
I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram is Lusk _.
Yep.
And Facebook is just facebook.com/Lusk official. And yeah, basically that's it. I'm coming up with a new website and web store as well, online store to sell like lessons and all my merchandising. And if you want something right now, you can email contact luiskalil@gmail.com, and I have shirts on my albums and stuff, and I can just ship it to you.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah, my pleasure.
My name is Lauren Dair, and this has been The Music Project. Make sure to tune in next week with another awesome guest that we have coming in, and we will see you guys later. Bye.
In the future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics in music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in